Are you the kind of girl that when you're feeling good, you are doing your meditations, you are doing your scripting, you are doing everything to keep that vibration high until one day you wake up and it feels like all motivation is gone and you crash right back down to old patterns and old frequencies? And now that you're thrown off, it's really hard to get back to that high vibrational place again. So frustrating. But I'm going to tell you something. This has nothing to do with your motivation. This has nothing to do with your consistency and has nothing to do with your capabilities. This has everything to do with your programming. In this video, we're talking about yo-yo energy. It's like yo-yo dieting. When you're so aligned, you're doing everything you can, and then one day you wake up and you've crashed right back down to old frequencies. I'm gonna talk about why this is happening and give you 10 ways to reprogram the subconscious mind and body so that you can get to your dream reality. My name's Helly. This is Guided by Helly, and I'm guiding you to your dream reality. So go ahead, like and subscribe, and get in love because we're getting everything we've ever wanted. We meet every Wednesday and Sunday and Wednesday. And with all that being said, let's get right into the video. So before we get into this video, I want to talk to you guys about a manifestation journal that I created for you guys. It is called the 11-Day Dream Life Lock-In, and it is a simple, less than 2-week process for you to align with your dream life so that you can call everything you've ever wanted into your life. It is for the girlies, and it really is so simple. It breaks everything down. There are days when you will be writing to your future self. There are days when you'll be walking with your future self. There are days when you will be connecting with your future self and really calling her in so that you can create less distance between you and your dream reality. And that is linked in the description. It is fully free. You type 0 into because it says how much do you want to pay. It's free, girl. You deserve it for free. Type in 0 and go ahead and download that and see where it takes you. And I'm so excited to have you living your dream life in less than 2 weeks. Hey girl, I'm so happy to be back. Oh my God, I love chatting with you guys. It is Sunday. I record on the same days that I upload. And let me just say, I so appreciate hearing from so many of you in the last video. There was a lot of comments and I loved it. I love saying hi, so say hello. And let's get into the video. So again, we're talking about yo-yo energy, and I pulled that from yo-yo dieting. You know how, I don't know if you've ever experienced this where you're eating right, you're working out, everything's great, and you're seeing results in your body. And then one day you wake up and you're making all those old choices that you used to, like binging, skipping the gym, eating a lot of sugar, drinking a lot of alcohol. And it's like, what the hell? All that work that I just put in, I really thought that like my life was changing. I thought that I was actually changing as a person. But I mean, you did change. And the thing is that you can change back, but you did not transform. And the way that you would have been able to transform would be by reprogramming your mind. That's the issue. It's not motivation. It's not inconsistencies. It is simply the fact that your body is wired to act a certain way. And so you are doing all these things to make yourself feel better, and it's surface level stuff. So when you're journaling and you're visualizing and you're doing all of these things to feel good and feel like you're on a high vibration, the wiring within your body is still its old wiring. So you're going to do all these things to make it feel so nice and I feel so great. But the second that you stop doing that, which there's going to be a day or a week or a time in your life, let's say a portion of your menstrual cycle where you're like, I'm not feeling it. I'm not going to do all the activity or the practices of raising my vibration. I'm not doing it today. I want a day off. And then the next day you wake up and you're back to your low vibration. Why? Why would that be? Because your body is programmed to that low vibration. That is still your natural state without all the extra fluff. Okay. You could do the extra fluff and you can work your ass off and you can really every single day wake up and do a dance that raises your vibration or whatever, or you could take the time to really do that deep subliminal programming that we talk about oh so often. You could take the time and rewire your body and mind so that you don't have to keep doing all of this stuff to raise your vibration, because your natural state when you wake up, You reprogrammed your body. You removed the trauma. You blah, 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 blah. The story that you told yourself every single day, you rewrote it. You rewrote that story so when you wake up, you're here naturally. Not here and then have to get yourself up. How often are you waking up naturally in a low vibration and then you're like, okay, I'm going to get myself up. I'm going to go on a walk. I'm going to drink some water. I'm going to do all these things to lift it, raise it. I don't know why I have trouble figuring out what you call it. Raising that vibration, you have to do all these things. You have a whole entire morning routine just to set yourself up for that day because you have to. Why would that be? Because your natural programming it's down here. We want to lift that. We want to lift that so that we're not on this yo-yo energy diet. So that we're not one day doing all this work to feel so good and the next day, right back down. It's literally like putting a Band-Aid on a bullet hole. No. You have to remove the bullet, stitch it up, and then put the Band-Aid on top. There's things that go before you start placing Band-Aids on things. Like you might be doing all this stuff to make yourself feel so beautiful, but there's a vibration within you. There's a frequency that is programmed within you. Our bodies are programmed, okay? Your body is still programmed with insecurity. It's still within there. What do they say? Like putting lipstick on a pig? You're putting lipstick on a pig and you might temporarily feel good. Okay, actually lipstick on a pig means that she's still ugly. No, you might, you might like look good. You feel good. Everything's great. When you look in the mirror, you're like, I look good. Therefore that raises my vibration. That physical thing is raising my vibration. But what about your natural vibe? What about your natural frequency? What about where you naturally resonate? Let's fix that. I'm gonna give you 10 ways that you can reprogram your mind, body, spirit, soul, all of it. Number 1, journaling. This is a beautiful way to discover your shadow work. What work needs to be done that is going within and finding all of the things that are wrong with you, not necessarily wrong with you, but all of the lower vibrational aspects of you that you are probably pushing down. You're like, I'm gonna pretend like I'm not insecure, so I'm just gonna stuff it in. I'm gonna stuff it down in there. And then you have to do this shadow work to go in there and discover all the things that you stuffed down into the depths of your soul and bring them to the surface so that you can work with them, invite them to the table. I used to have a podcast, and on one of my episodes I was talking about the think about this. Great shadow work is having a dinner party and inviting every version of you that you find less favorable, the things that you don't like about yourself, inviting them to a dinner, calling them out of the basement, having a place set to them, feeding them, comforting them, saying, hey guys, thank you all for coming. I'm so sorry for stuffing you in the basement for so long, but actually what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna free you. You're free. You don't have to be locked away in my basement. You're not even going to reside on this property anymore. You're out of here. You go start your own life, babe. That is the shadow work. And so you can do shadow work and discover what shadow work needs to be done through journaling by literally just free writing and figuring out things that are patterns that are coming up for you, being really, really, really radically honest and writing everything you hate about yourself so that you can rewrite that. So we've talked about this before. One column, you're going to write everything that you hate about yourself, and it's going to feel uncomfortable because you're like, oh, no, I thought in manifestation I'm supposed to run and hide from this. I thought I was supposed to. No. You're supposed to face that head on and actually deal with it. That's manifestation. So you're going to write down everything you hate about yourself, everything. And then on the flip side, you're going to make 2 columns. On this column, you're going to write the complete opposite of that. Let's say one of your biggest things is like, I hate my body. I hate the way that it looks, blah, 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 blah. And then what you write on the opposite is going to be your new affirmations that you're going to repeat to yourself, okay? Because affirmations are great with reprogramming, but you had to do the journaling and the affirmations and the this and the that. Do you see what I'm saying? We're gonna start adding all these things together. So these are 10 different ways that you can reprogram the mind, but I do encourage you to do them all. Okay, not all at once. Don't overwhelm yourself, but just dabble. So let's move on to some of the other ones. Number 2, meditation. Why does it start with med? Like med spa, medical center? Because it is medicinal. Meditation is medicinal, okay? And you need to be doing, this is one that I say you can't skip. You cannot skip the meditations, okay? I'm not saying that you have to do this every single day and you have to be what are they called? Like a monk living in a mountain doing, you don't have to do that. I'm not calling you to be doing this all the time. I'm calling you to add it to your life in ways that are suitable to you. Things that you can continue to do weekly, okay? If that means one meditation a week, that one meditation a week is better than the 0 meditations a week that you're currently doing. If that's one meditation a month, that is better than the 0 meditations a month that you're currently doing. Okay, follow me? You can do guided meditations. You can do body scans. You can do just listening to the music and doing breath work and all of that. And I'm going to start actually making my own guided wait, that breath felt really good. Ready? Wow, that felt really good. And meditation is so good because it is lowering your not lowering your nervous system, lowering your cortisols, calming your nervous system. And to rewire, you need to be calming that nervous system, okay? Also, the piece of meditating that is so spectacular is you are able to kind of like step outside of yourself, and then maybe you can observe what needs to be reprogrammed. If you don't know what you're reprogramming, how are you going to reprogram it? How? You have to do the journaling to discover it. You have to do the meditation and step outside yourself to discover it. We have to be discovering what we're going to be reprogramming to even reprogram it. And then consider combining the meditation with the affirmations. It is sleep programming. We've talked about this 100,000 times. Sleep programming is, to me, magic, okay? You are going to go on YouTube and type in confidence sleep programming, and it is going to give you a frequency that is going to play, that is going to calm your nervous system. The affirmations are going to be repeated to you while you sleep, and while we sleep, we are in theta mode, theta brain phase wave mode. I'm not a scientist. We're in that mode. We're in that phase. We're in that, what is it called? I don't know. We're in that mode, okay? Theta mode. While you're in theta mode, your brain is a sponge. So if you're sleeping and listening every single night, let's say for 21 days, that's just a recommendation or a suggestion, or they like those numbers and it's like, do it for this many days. Okay, so pick a number and do it. And you're going to listen to it while you're sleeping. While you're sleeping, your brain is in theta mode. While your brain is in theta mode, it is a sponge. So it is actually going to be soaking up all of these positive affirmations. And a way to reprogram the mind is through repetition. So if you are repeating these affirmations over and over and over and over and over and over and over during theta mode, which is while you're sleeping. I'm going to repeat myself 9,000 times in this video. If you're new here, welcome. While that's going on, and you don't even have to do anything. You're sleeping, babe. You're sleeping, babe, and your brain is being reprogrammed. But we can't just do that. Remember, we have to do all of them. We have to do them all. The subliminal programming, the journaling, the meditation. We're doing a lot, okay? Subliminal reprogramming is meditation mixed with affirmations, and you get the affirmations from the journaling and the shadow work. Then you take those affirmations and you bring them over to the meditations, and then you do it while you sleep. And this is starting to look like we're getting reprogrammed. You know what I'm saying? One of the ones I have on the list, because I have 10 of them, is the affirmations, okay? So we can do robotic affirmations, repetition, repeat, okay? So you're going to find your affirmations to repeat to yourself until it feels like so robotic that you're not even saying it anymore. Your mind is just saying it for you, okay? So let's say there's a song that you're listening to over and over and over, and you can just hear it, like it's playing in your mind. There's a song stuck in your head. We need to get an affirmation stuck in your head, so that your brain is repeating this to you, even though you are not consciously doing it. That is what we need to do. We need to affirm until our brain is telling it to us on its own. I always recommend recording your own affirmations. Go on ChatGPT and ask them to write you out affirmations for whatever it is that you're working on. Then pick some of your favorite ones and start reading them in your voice notes app. Just read them slowly, calmly, with a nice voice. I am beautiful. I am confident. I am successful. Blah, 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 blah. Make them nicer than that. Don't just do like, I am blank. Like, I feel like there's ways to evoke emotion through your affirmations that, come from like really picking a beautiful sentence that just, wait until you find that one that's just like, oh my God, I can feel this. This sentence right here, oh, I love it. Like, that's a good affirmation. So you're gonna go pick your good affirmations, you're gonna repeat them to yourself, and then you can play it from your phone whenever you need, okay? You can be on the train and people think you're listening to Doja Cat, but you're like listening to your own voice repeat how hot you are to yourself. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so record your own affirmations. Another way to reprogram your mind and body is to talk to your inner child. Go back, have conversations with her. Allow her to know how far you've come and how safe you are and how calm you are. And especially if you grew up in an environment that was traumatic, she is terrified still, okay? You can go back, talk to her, invite her into the home that you live in now. Like, oh my God, I'm gonna invite my younger self into my room and I'm gonna show her, like, look at our bed, like, it's so cute, and like, look at our fun little house, like, everything is so great. I still think about you all the time, like, my room is inspired by you and the things that you loved, and I bring you with me everywhere. I'm talking to my younger self, like, I really do bring her with me everywhere, and I love her so much. And when she does come up, when I feel like she is triggered, I just talk to her. I talk to her, or write her a letter and like say how, oh my God, tell her how far you've come. Tell her where you're at. Tell her about all the dumb decisions that you made that didn't change a thing. It didn't ever stop you. You did so many dumb things and look at you. You're still so smart and beautiful. You're actually smarter because you did all those dumb things. Like, oh my God, talk to her. Let her feel like, oh my God, because guess what? Without all those decisions that she made or all the feelings that she felt, you wouldn't be you right now. I have chills. I love her so much. Talk to her. Invite her with you, because when you heal her, you heal you. And I know that she is you, but she's also like, I don't know, like I love my younger self so much, and I just love her. And honestly, I wasn't even that close with her for a very long time. I left her in the past. I literally, like, I moved on and I was like, I don't even want to think about things that I did when I was younger or blah, 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 blah. But then I was like, wait, I could bring her with me. I can talk to her. I can create a relationship with her. I can talk to her whenever I want and help her heal too, which then heals me. And it's lovely. And it's, I love spirituality because you can do silly shit like that. Like, yeah, talk to your younger self and feel better. Like, yeah, bitch, talk to your younger self and feel better, and tell me how that works. It'll help you reprogram yourself. Again, and we're doing all of these things. And you'll see, like, there's some repeats in this list. Like, I'm going to talk about shadow work again. But it literally, all these things are all intertwined, okay? So it's 10 different things. Again, I already said this. It's 10 different things, but you want to be doing a combination. Have a little cocktail. Another way to reprogram is through mirror work. So when you are talking to yourself, let's say you discover through journaling that, like, you judge yourself a lot. Like, you're not happy with decisions that you've made in your past. It makes you cringe. You're uncomfortable. You try and suppress it. And it's just like, ugh. Okay, you can use mirror work to go and look at yourself and tell yourself that you forgive yourself. I forgive myself for all of the decisions that I made when it was the best that I could do. Just because through the lens that I have now and the understanding that I have now, I wouldn't make that decision again. I was doing the best that I could, and I forgive you. I forgive you for not knowing better. I forgive you for having to learn. You had to learn. You had to do the bad thing to learn. I forgive you for that. I forgive you for all the times that you damaged your body and chose escapism over self-love. I forgive you for all the times you allowed somebody to treat you way less than you deserved. I forgive you. I forgive you. And that is going to help reprogram the mind, is by talking to yourself in the mirror and having conversations like that, deep conversations that will allow your mind to be free. All of these things are also lowering our can I speak? No. All of these things are also lowering our cortisol levels, regulating our nervous system. And again, we're going to be doing all of these things and doing deep work like this. This isn't just like, oh, I put makeup on and I feel cute now, and so now my energy is high and I'm going to go out and dance and have fun. It's not that type of work. These are the things that are going to make sure when you wake up in the morning, you are waking up here, because it is your natural state, okay? This next one, I just started dabbling in this year. I haven't done much of it and I need to do more of it. It's called EFT tapping. So go on YouTube and type in EFT tapping for confidence, EFT tapping for money work, EFT tapping for love, EFT tapping for whatever you need. And it's basically tapping at points on the body with affirmations, okay? So this is why, again, everything needs to be combined. We need to be doing multiple things. So we're going to be doing our affirmations. I am a successful YouTuber. My videos help hundreds of thousands of people. I easily speak to the masses about manifestation. People love my videos because of my ability to express myself. I'm really hot. That is EFT tap. Oh my God. And it feels so good. It regulates your nervous system. It lowers your cortisol. It programs the mind through repetition. It is the bee's knees, okay? I obviously don't talk about it that much because I don't feel like I'm in a position to be teaching that. Down the line in years, once I have really, really, really established myself in that tool, in that action, then we can talk more about it. But I think that if you're interested in this and you feel compelled to learn more about that, please, please, please go do some self-educating on that and get into it because it's very helpful. It's definitely something that will reprogram the mind and body. The next one is affirmations, but I do feel like we have established that. I think that I've spoken enough about affirmations. I just put these in a weird order and I definitely should have worked on my flow a little bit better. But affirmations, babe. Affirmations. Okay. Number 8 is that shadow work that we talked about. This is one of the pillars of reprogramming the mind. I honestly don't think that you can reprogram the mind without doing your shadow work. There are shadow work journals. There are shadow work prompts that you can just Google and write in your own journal. There is so many ways to dive into shadow work, and I think that it was kind of talked about last year and the year before because there was that shadow work journal that was going around, and I don't know how many people actually decided to dive into this, but it's a deep journey. I did a lot. Oh my God, I did so much shadow work when I quit stripping. I don't know why I'm getting emotional. I'm about to be on my menstrual phase, but I did so much shadow work when I quit stripping because so much of my confidence came from being a stripper. Going to work and being cute and people being like, here's money because you're so hot. Or like, I'm a stripper, so people think I'm stupid. So when I would have a conversation with a man, he would be like, oh my God, you're so smart. But it was like the bar was on the expectation was that I was a fucking dumbass. So the fact that I literally just had a conversation with you about the stock market for 13 seconds of something that I learned off of a TikTok video was mind-blowing to you. Like, you know, so I just felt so good because everybody was constantly showering me in compliments. And then when I left that and I wasn't having that external validation, I was left with myself and a lot of that, you know, like my natural programming because I wasn't having this external, oh my God, everything's so great. So I dove headfirst into a lot of shadow work, and I will say it was really hard because there was a lot of like realization, or it started with a lot of shame. I can't lie. My shadow work started with a lot of shame where I was like, oh my God, why did I do that? Why am I this way? Why blah, blah, blah. I'm not far enough. I'm not doing, like, there was all this chatter in my mind about all these things that I didn't like about myself. And I was like, wait, it's at the surface. Everything bubbled up to the surface and now I can work on it. And I did. And I dove head first and I was honest, like, yeah, I do feel this way about myself. So what am I going to do about it? And there was reprogramming, journaling, reprogramming, writing the list of the things that I hated and then reprogramming it to the things that I like, the complete opposite, and redirecting myself to what I want, not what I've been feeling in my shadow. So you really have to let those feelings bubble up. And I know it's going to feel like torturous. I know it's gonna feel like you're doing something wrong, but this has to be done on this journey. I always use the analogy in a transformation. There's a piece where it is just, oh my God, they call it a tower moment in tarot, but I always call it like the butterfly effect. I know there's already a butterfly effect, but just stick with me. So basically, when you are going through a transformation, and a transformation is something you cannot come back from. When you transform, you transform. When you change, you could change back. I changed my hair, I can change my hair back. But when you transform, it's like going from a caterpillar to a butterfly. You cannot go back to being a caterpillar if you have transformed into a butterfly. And what do butterflies have to go through to transform? Isolation. They isolate themselves in that cocoon. Darkness. They have to produce this dissolving saliva that literally eats their skin so that they can transform and their wings can show and they can become a butterfly, but they have to themselves destroy themselves, basically. They are dissolving their own skin to then transform into a butterfly, and then they have to relearn how to live in a new space. And that is you every time you're transforming. Every time you level up, you're going through that period. And I do believe that little period is meant to bubble up like that dark period when you're going through all that pain, that is the shadow work. And if you avoid the shadow work in that moment and you run, that's when you don't become the butterfly. You do not transform. You need to go head first into that dark moment, shadow work period, and figure out how you can rewire this, how you can rewrite this story, how you can, and you know what? And I don't know if I'm really expressing myself properly or if I'm saying enough. I really don't know. But I hope that this is making sense in the way that, like, when the shadow work pops up, be kind to it, right? Like the story that I told you, or the analogy that I told you, where you invite them to dinner and you feed them and you host them and you treat them so nice because you have treated them like shit their entire life. And then they just kept being like, oh, well, I guess I'll just stay in this basement. We don't want them in the basement. We want them evicted. We want them out of the house. And that happens by being kind and encouraging them to get up and get on to their own lives and get out of yours, you know, like those shadow monsters. Does that make sense? Let me know if I make sense in the comments, because I genuinely don't know. I don't know. Okay, so please let me know if I make sense in the comments. And number 9, we have your habit and environmental change. We talk a lot about changing your habits and changing your life, okay? Repetition. So that means you have to put a little bit of extra work into changing your habits. That means being more mindful than you typically are. Because if you're being mindful, you're mindful of the things that you're doing. You're mindful of, like, oh my God, how am I acting in this way? Or I'm mindful of the way that I'm taking care of my home. I'm mindful of the things that I'm eating. But if you're not being mindful, you're just going to do things that you did yesterday. So if yesterday you were disorganized and you ate like shit, and today you're not being mindful, you're being mindless, you're going to be disorganized and you're going to eat like shit again, because you're just going to stuff whatever is in whatever you're used to eating, you're just going to stuff that into your mouth. Somebody is having a heyday in my garbage right now. New York things. So, you need to, I forgot what I was saying. Okay, so being mindful and repeating the habits that you want to do over and over and over, even if it takes extra work, even if you're like, oh my God, repeating those habits until they are. Repetition is the best way to program. We've talked about this in almost every single one of these little tips, okay? So repeating these new habits, telling yourself that you can do it, telling yourself, it's okay if there's resistance, I can do it anyway. It's okay if I don't have the motivation, I can do it anyway. Those are the good affirmations that make us feel good. Those are the ones that we're going to repeat to ourselves. And we're going to be layering all of these tools to reprogram the mind and the body so that when we wake up, we are here, not here. Following? A habit that I am changing for myself currently, just to give you an example from my own life, is I am no longer, if I see incel behavior on my phone, block. This is a new habit. I used to read it and engage mentally with it and be like, oh my God, I hate this, blah, 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 blah. Block. Block. I deleted my Twitter. I'm not doing that anymore. No more incel behavior on my phone. That is a new habit that is going to reprogram my reality in one of the easiest ways possible, because I'm blocking these incel behaviors on my phone. It's going to show up less and less on my phone. Therefore, my phone is going to be a better place, a better community for me to be in. Okay? So that's just a small example of a singular habit that I'm implementing into my life to make a big change. Habits. Tune into them. If you don't like a habit, reprogram it. And if you have told yourself over and over and over that it's so hard, it's so hard, it's so hard, that is something that we are going to reprogram. It is so easy to reprogram a habit. It is so easy to reprogram a habit. It is so easy to reprogram a habit. It is so easy to reprogram a habit through repetition. It is so easy to reprogram a habit through repetition. These are the new things that we are going to consciously be telling ourselves, okay? And the environmental changes that go along with the habit changes are so important. There's this thing, I went to a school and the initials for the school was GBA. Don't look it up. And it was... Okay, I went to one of those schools that, like, are for troubled teens, and they basically just take you, like, all these kids are just traumatized kids, and they put us all in a school and tell us, like, you're bad kids, you are so entitled, you are such a brat, blah, 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 like, you're the problem, you need to change, and then, like, I don't know, we're just further traumatized at these schools, but the school is called GBA, and they'd always be like, do you know what GBA stands for? And I'm like, I don't know. And they're like, guilty by association. Because it was basically a cult. And you couldn't, like, hang out with kids that were doing bad. They're like, guilty by association. You're going to become them. Like, if you hang out around people that are blah, 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 then you're going to become them. And I hate to say it. Although that was a cult and that was a very traumatizing experience for me. Maybe we'll talk about it another day. They kind of ate with that one. Like guilty by association. When you hang around people who are vibrating on this frequency, you are just naturally going to also vibrate on that frequency. So if you have they talk about this in the laws of power. Stay away from the unhappy and the unlucky. You need to surround yourself with people who resonate where you desire to resonate, or who are going to maintain this high frequency that you have already created, right? So it's like they are either higher than you or equal with you. They cannot, I'm so sorry. And I know that this sounds like really insensitive, but consider this. You are on a mission to raise your frequency, raise your vibration, so that you can then be the catalyst for other people to raise their vibration. When you're around people, you're uplifting them. Your vibration is so high. But if you surround yourself and attach yourself to people who are low vibrational, and then you just naturally go down there. Have you ever been like so positive and somebody's so negative, so you like keep your positivity to yourself because you're like, well, I don't want to like bother them. I know if I were to say like all my toxic positivity ass shit right now, like they would just troll me or like clown me for being so positive. Like that is you lowering your vibration to fit in with the negative vibrations. Okay, I hate that my lipstick always does this. I hate it. But anyway, it is so important to make sure that you are surrounding yourself with people who are on the frequency and the plane that you desire to be on, whether you're there or are striving to be there. Do not surround yourself. You don't have to cut them off and pretend like they don't exist, but reduce your time with these people, okay? Reduce your availability to these people. This is the thing. If they love you that much, okay, let's say your bestie is just like so negative and you have to separate yourself. She is more likely to raise her vibration to get to you than she is if you're staying in that situation, because she doesn't have to change her vibration to be in your life, right? She is fine being so low and allowing you to lower yourself to be friends with her. So we need to really, really, really make sure that we are associating with people, places, and things that match our desired frequency or our current frequency if it's up here, okay? And finally, the nervous system regulation. Again, we talked about this before, but you cannot have a new higher vibration if your nervous system is still vibrating and is regulating. If it's processing at a low vibration, you can't do it. Your nervous system will sabotage you. If you are vibrating at a new frequency, but your nervous system is still dysregulated, it's going to bring you back down immediately, like with the quickness. I'm not a doctor, so I literally just looked up ways to regulate the nervous system, and breath work, somatic work, cold exposure, like doing the cold plunges, things like that. Vagus nerve toning, don't know what that is. Trauma release exercises. There's so many ways to regulate your nervous system, and it is so important. If you are struggling with your manifestations, this may be the number one thing that is holding you back. It is your dysregulated nervous system, and it is time to regulate it. With a regulated nervous system, you feel safe, which means you will manifest more safety. With a dysregulated nervous system, you feel chaotic inside, which means you're going to attract that chaos. This is for my people who grew up in traumatic environments. This is for my people who've experienced trauma. This one is for you. Your nervous system is very likely dysregulated. And that is why when you wake up in the morning, you're right back down there, you know, because your nervous system has been stuck on this loop. Whatever that trauma was since it happened, just bouncing all over the place. It is time to regulate that nervous system so that our body will work for us rather than against us. And I really don't have much more to say on the nervous system regulation because I'm not a scientist, and I do need to do more research so that I can like properly express that to you. But I wanted to just invite you to consider it so that you can do further research on your own. And I really do hope that multiple of these 10 ways to reprogram you're going to utilize. And with all that being said, I really do hope that this like calls you, inspires you to do that deep reprogramming so that you can actually find success, okay? If you want to manifest your dream world, this has to be done. The rewiring, you need to rewire yourself into her. You need to rewire yourself into that dream girl so that you can get into the dream world, okay? Because if you're not the dream girl, you're not getting into the dream world. I'm so sorry, girl. I'm so sorry, girl. And I don't mean dream girl in the way that like men use it. I mean like aligned, 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 aligned. We are aligned with our higher self. That is your dream girl. That is who you are meant to be. Okay? And with all that being said, I really hope that the message found you. Again, say hello, say hi. If you've made it all the way to the end, drop a disco ball emoji so that I know that you stayed till the end and got the message. And I love you, and I will see you guys on Wednesday. Mwah.